George Sawtooth. I'm at the Beecher Island Battleground. Happened 1868. September 1868. Lasted 9 days. I'm on the trail, Roman Nose Trail. So I don't know if it's going to show where he was killed or not. Roman Nose really didn't want to fight in this battle because he had a premonition that he was going to die in this battle, and so he was kind of hesitant, and his premonition actually came true. He was actually killed in this battle. Roman Nose, he was the leader of the Cheyenne Dog Soldiers. Yeah, this is Beecher Island Battleground. So the Rickery River's right here, and the Republican River is over here as well, because they kind of combine over here. The confluence is over here. The deal with these rivers here on the Eastern Plains is they start in the hills of the Eastern Plains. Like if there's winters of heavy snow, that's heavy snow melt, and then mostly thunderstorms fill these creeks. So they're not really rivers, they're kind of more like creeks. Sure is beautiful out here. I love those beautiful clouds. It happened September 1868, 9 days. It's named after Frederick Beecher, this area, and he was the nephew of Harriet Beecher Stowe. You know, she wrote Uncle Tom's Cabin. I believe he was in the Battle of Gettysburg as well. Frederick Beecher. He died in the battle as well. The men were trapped on, it's called an island, it's a sandbar, Beecher Island. Indians had them surrounded. They ran out of supplies. 4 of the cavalry were killed. A lot of horses were killed. They ran out of food, ran out of supplies, so they ended up eating their dead horses and dead mules. Finally, Forsyth, who was the commander, sent somebody over to Fort Wallace, which is in Kansas. And he says, "You guys got to find help for us." Which they did. And they were finally able to drive the Indians out. This happened in 1868. The Indians were still kind of angry over the Sand Creek Massacre, which was 1865. So the Indians were making a lot of trouble here in the late 1860s. Before we go over here, let's take a look at this. They actually have a little church there, and the surrounding residents, they go to that church. It's kind of a pretty area to have a church. That sandbar, the remnants of that sandbar are all gone. I think in 1935 there was a bad flood, and it just washed away that sandbar. Looks like they have a road access. No motorized vehicles. The other Indian warrior was Medicine Man. He was killed during this battle. Roman Nose Ridge. Roman Nose. I don't believe his body is here. I think the Indians, other Cheyennes, carried him off somewhere. But I guess this is near the location where he was killed. He didn't really participate into the battle until some other braves were kind of saying, how come you don't want to fight for us? Are you kind of wimping out on us? And but he had that premonition that he was going to die. But finally, after they taunted him over that, he said, okay, I'll go lead a charge. And that charge, he got hit by a rifle ball, hit his back. They could even severed his spine, probably severed his spinal cord, and he was dead, I think by 10 o'clock that night, a few hours later. Beautiful rocks over there. Really beautiful area. I like this area. There's the Rickery River. Rickery and Republican River. Republican River ends up in Nebraska. Was all part of the Colorado Indian Wars, which lasted 1860s even to the 1870s, even with bands of Indians still not letting go, because you don't want to let go of your way of life, but it was inevitable, unfortunately. Kansas border is just a few miles that way. Beautiful, beautiful clouds though. Those are my favorite types of clouds, those cumulus clouds. Those are the ones that eventually turn into a cumulonimbus, which is a thunderhead. But a lot of times they're just fair weather cumulus clouds. And this valley is so beautiful. I can see why local people like to live in this area, kind of away from the city, kind of away from the weird urban politics of the Front Range of Colorado. Alright, I'm going to continue on, take a walk this way, see what happens.